It's time for our daily dose of cope, and we have Leo Leopard at the news anchor's desk for the Leopards News Network. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. Today's video is a little bit more serious because we're at war. We're literally at war because of what Trump has done. This is a press release from the Abandon Harris group. It says, for immediate release, a message to Trump and VP J.D. Vance from the Abandon Harris movement. We speak at a perilous moment. Israel has attacked Iran. A war has erupted. Civilians are dying. The region is spiraling into chaos, and the world now stands on the brink of nuclear disaster. That is where we are. These people helped usher it in. This is not just a regional conflict. It is a global crisis, and it threatens every one of us. In October 2023, Muslim American leaders issued an ultimatum to President Joe Biden for call for a ceasefire in Gaza and the end to a genocide. He ignored us. We launched the Abandon Biden movement. When Biden dropped out, we issued the same demand to VP Harris. She ignored us too. In August 2024, we rebranded as Abandon Harris. We organized across every swing state. We moved voters, and we cost Kamala Harris the White House. Let that serve as a reminder. Our demands are not symbolic. Our movement is not hypothetical. When our red lines are crossed, we act. President Trump, VP Vance, you promised the American people to end endless wars. You promised to put America first. You promised to stop funding genocide. Those were your words. Today, those promises are on the line. We have learned that Israel is pressuring the United States to enter this war. You must not comply. Do not enter this war. To do so would be a catastrophic betrayal, not only of your promises, but of the American people. It would cost trillions of dollars, trigger widespread economic collapse, and worst of all, lead to deaths of untold numbers of innocents. We cannot afford another reckless military campaign. We can't afford another war built on someone else's agenda. Let us be clear. If this administration leads the U.S. into this war, we will respond with the full strength of our movement, just as we did in 2024. We will mobilize every battleground state to ensure you are held accountable at the ballot box in 2026 and beyond. But far beyond politics, the consequences of this war will be lasting and devastating. History will not forget who escalated it, and neither will we. We will not stand idle. We will not be silent. We will do everything in our power to stop this war before it begins. But we are already there. This is Trump on his live social page saying, we now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran. Iran had good sky trackers and other defensive equipment, and plenty of it, but it doesn't compare to American-made, conceived, and manufactured stuff. Nobody does it better than good old USA. So he is letting us know that Americans and our weapons are now over Iran. We are in war. At the bottom, we know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. He is an easy target, but it is safe there. We're not going to take him out unalive, at least not now, not for now. But we don't want missiles shot at civilians or American soldiers. Our patience is wearing thin. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Why is he talking like this? Did we declare war and it didn't get put on the news? We are at war. Look at his most recent post. It says unconditional surrender. Surrender to who? Are we at war with them and they just haven't spoken it? They are using Israel as a proxy for war. Here are some comments under his post. You said no more endless wars. Kenny says, we didn't vote for this. We voted for America first, not Israel first. False Flag Info says, stay out of it. It's not our problem. No more wars for Israel. Sandy says, what the F are you doing, bruh? This is over under the conservative subreddit. Nathias says, why are we, the United States, demanding unconditional surrender of a foreign power we aren't at war with? Did I miss an emergency combined session of Congress? He says, sorry, F Iran and all, love them getting wrecked, but could we finally not rely off of ancient AUMFs that don't have sunset and be constitutional with warfare for once? Opening Citron says, unconditional surrender is probably in the context of the nuclear talks, basically Trump's way of saying bend the knee and stop trying to make nukes. Yeah, that is not what he's saying, not when you put all of those other lie social posts together. Strictly Hobby says, why are we freaking out about something that hasn't been done? Force is the only thing these fundamentalists respect, and they are getting a heavy dose of force from Israel right now. And obviously, they're getting a dose of it from Trump. Trump is unilaterally taking us into war. CPTJDVM says, put the phone down, Donald. Grouchy Map says, put the phone down, Rand. These people right here in the middle. Gabbard said they don't have anything, or did I misunderstand what she intended to say? They don't know what to say until Trump basically says something, and then they have to get on one accord. They flip-flop because he is a flip-flopper and a liar. But this person, 60-second Dragon, says, no, she was not being truthful. Kekseth constricted her at the same group of hearing. Nobet says, Trump made it clear that this is America's war. The Israelis are just the contractors doing the fighting and the dying. He's saying that we have contracted Israel to do the fighting for us. People should really understand. I'm sorry that I had to hijack the Leopards post. This is not a cope, but we need to know that we are literally at war right now. Rudy says, this is the main reason I voted for Trump. I don't want to see any more bloodshed. He's betrayed the vast majority of his voter base. And so then in 2011, 2012, 2013, he says, in order to get elected, Barack Obama will start a war with Iran. And then he says Barack Obama will attack Iran in order to get reelected. And then he says, I predict that President Obama will at some point attack Iran in order to save face. That is literally what he's doing because of his boring birthday parade that was a colossal failure. And then finally, he says, I remember that I predicted a long time ago that President Obama will attack Iran because of his inability to negotiate properly, not skilled. So he's talking about a lack of negotiation when he hasn't been able to negotiate even his own Congress to pass any bills. Only thing he's been able to do is sign executive orders and put out posts on Lie Social. This was in the You Voted for That subreddit. Mike Colom says, so you are admitting that the U.S. is directly involved in the war, the complete opposite of what you preached during your campaign. We voted for peace, Mr. President. You have officially unalived the Republican Party. These people are pissed. Oh, actually, I said it was the You Voted for This subreddit. It was actually the Leopards Ate My Face subreddit, because this is what they thought he was going to do. They thought he was going to bring world peace because Biden bought us World War III. Literally, this is what Trump is pushing us into right now. This article just dropped. U.S. Air Force fighters deploy to reinforce Middle East. The Pentagon is expanding its tactical options by using tankers it just deployed to flow additional fighters into the region. This literally just dropped June 17th at 2:29 p.m. Eastern Time. As the conflict between Israel and Iran continues, the United States Air Force is now in the process of deploying fighters to bases within the Middle East. The fighter movements follow the arrival in Europe of more than 24 U.S. Air Force KC-135R and KC-46A tankers that flew across from the United States in recent days, as you can read about here. 3 unnamed U.S. officials confirmed to Reuters that the United States was deploying more fighters to the Middle East and extending the deployment of other warplanes already in the region. One of the officials said of the deployments include, and it just gives some more aircraft numbers. And this person, Phil, says the United States military is deploying more fighter aircraft to the Middle East and extending the deployment of other warplanes. Story coming. The U.S. officials stressed the defensive nature of the deployment. So people are now talking about this. Y'all, yes, this is serious. We're at war. This person put in a quote from 1984. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. Welcome to 1984. The Texas Patriot says, F it. If Trump takes us to war, I'm done with him and his administration. I voted for no wars, cheap gas, no taxes, cheap groceries, MAGA. What of these things has actually happened? I'm pissed. That is where many of his followers are right now. If you look at social media, these people are pissed. And yeah, y'all, sorry I had to do this with the Leopards post today, But join the conversation and let me know what you think. Like, comment, and share.
So the U.S. has just deployed 3,500 troops to the Middle East region near Iran. Not only that, they have just sent fighter jets and a B-2 bomber near Iran. And not only that, Trump just got out of a meeting, and the meeting was about whether the U.S. were going to get involved in this war between Iran and Israel. And after the meeting, that's what they did. So it seems like we are getting involved in the war between Iran and Israel. Very interesting. And to be honest, we were already kind of involved in the war because either indirectly or directly, simply because Trump just said this morning that we have complete control over the Iranian skies. That's what Donald Trump said. And by we, I'm pretty sure he means the US, which means you are directly involved in this war. I'm pretty sure we're on the cusp of something really big happening in this war that is going to be a major escalation, whether it's today or tomorrow. We are about to see something insane, especially because they're being super, super secretive. Why? Birth pangs are increasing, guys. As we get more news, I will let you guys know, but that is the latest update as of 3:04 p.m. Eastern time.